Hello everyone and happy fall. I'm Jessica and I'm with Nexus Youth and Family Services Therapeutic Team. Welcome to our wellness workshop. This month we are going to be going over choosing optimism and how to shift our mindset towards positivity and happiness. Optimism is the hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of something. So let's get started. You may feel that it is harder to stay on the positive side of thinking when everything around us seems so dark and negative at times. This workshop is to help guide you on how we can shift our mindsets in order to find more optimism or positive thinking. Thinking positive or negative can have a larger impact on our day-to-day life, from the way we view events happening around us or the obstacles we may have to face. It also has an overall impact on both our physical and mental health. A more positive mindset allows us to keep calm and take appropriate action, whereas being more pessimistic or having negative thinking leads to a suffering, stress, and a feeling of helplessness. Here's the good news. For those of us who have a hard time with finding the positivity or seeing the silver lining of things, we have the ability to change our mindset. We can shift our attitude in a more optimistic direction. Despite our natural inclination to think negative, with a little time, effort, and energy, we can start to create a positive mindset within ourselves. Research has shown that those who think positive are healthier and can live longer. One study was done with people from the ages of 40 to 90 lived longer with a positive outlook, despite them having depression or alcoholism or a bad diet. They still were able to live longer than expected based on a more positive outlook. When we have a more optimistic mindset, we have a better ability to create a buffer on the effects of common daily life stressors and still feel happy. It may be something super stressful that you think could bring you down, but if you have that positive mindset and thinking, you'll be able to just roll right through it and move on to the next task without letting it overwhelm ourselves. Stress is unavoidable. While we can't eliminate all stressors in our life, we do, however, have the ability to choose how we handle them. We can decide to adapt a new way of how to face them with a more positive mindset. Of course, there are some people who just walk around happy and can be positive about any irritant or bad events, which can help protect their moods. And that's great for them, but not everyone's like that. If positive reframing doesn't come naturally to you, start by trying to focus on what's good about your daily life stressors instead of what's bad about them. For example, you have a meeting set for the same day every week with someone, but this week you're running late and you're stressing to get everything done in time, and at the last minute they tell you, I'm going to be an hour late. Can we push it back? Well, that can seem really frustrating and that you've been stressing, but you could think, that's great. I needed more time. I don't have to stress as much. Therefore, reframing your mindset about that situation. We can't control what life throws at us, but we can control how we respond. Practice reframing difficult events as challenges to be mitigated versus catastrophes. Next, what you can do is practice some self-compassion. Some people tend to beat themselves up when things don't go their way, which, not surprisingly, doesn't make them feel any better. Those who practice self-compassion are less likely to blame themselves when bad things happen, which works in their favor. They're happier, more resilient, and less stressed or anxious. So when bad things happen, cut yourself some slack, forgive yourself, be kind to yourself, and treat yourself with some care and compassion. Being kind to ourselves and giving ourselves grace is what's going to help us get through our days. We're human, we're not perfect, and it's okay to have a little stress and to forgive yourself for it too. Here are some things you can do on a daily basis to help maybe mitigate some of those stressors and give yourself some compassion. You can do things from physical exercise to something emotional like writing in a journal. I absolutely love to write things down when they can stress me. There's daily gratitude and deep breathing. You could do things like spending time with friends or playing a board game with someone. Even giving someone else a compliment and passing on the good grace. You could also do things spiritual that could affect your lives and something that's important to you, like praying or walking in nature or practicing yoga, or maybe taking time for yourself to get away and go on a retreat. Let go of what no longer serves you. Besides blaming themselves for setbacks, people can also fall into traps of focusing on bad events long after they're over, and dwelling on them can be very difficult and can block you from seeing positivity. People who criticize themselves for having negative thoughts and feelings have a higher level of depression and anxiety and lower levels of psychological well-being and life satisfaction. So what does that mean? It means that when we're so focused on the negative that happened, or the negative we created, or the negative we had to experience, that we're too busy to see the positives that are happening right in front of us. So by letting go of those negatives, we then have the ability to enjoy the positives and find satisfaction in life. When you find yourself stuck, identify and stop resisting those negative thoughts and feelings. Naming and accepting your negative emotions and thoughts will help keep you from holding on to them. What does that mean? It means that it's okay to feel those feelings. It's okay to feel those negative thoughts. That way you can let them go and be able to find a more positive attitude and response. Avoid comparison and practice gratitude. While people vary considerably on how much they engage in social comparison, those of us who have a more negative mindset find it hard to avoid it, particularly on social media. It's very easy to see that someone's having a more positive life than you because they're posting more positive things. This is why many people, especially youth, believe that they experience a more negative events and fewer positive events than their peers, which can make their life very lonely and dissatisfied. So if you find yourself in a comparison trap, take some time away from social media. Shift how you think about others' overly positive postings and find the very real and happy positive things in your life. Laughter is the best medicine. We've all heard it, and it's true. So let's find some humor. The ability to find humor and take things in strides reduces stress and its negative effects on our physical and psychological well-being. Laughter can trigger the brain's emotional reward center, delivering a heaping dose of feel-good dopamine and mood-lifting serotonin. Researchers have shown that humor and mental health show a correlation between sense of humor and attributes such as greater self-esteem, better coping skills during stressful times, and better image of self and our place in the world. Studies have found that people with a more developed sense of humor may be better equipped with dealing with difficult and even life-threatening situations. Spread positivity. Making others feel good will transfer to you feeling incredible. So take some time each day to leave a note or say a kind word to someone else. By putting a smile on someone else's face is a sure way to make you feel positive as well. So a few things that you can do that would make you maybe feel better and be able to spread the positivity would be perform an act of kindness, decorate a place that others will see, listen to some upbeat music, write letters to a friend and family, or send a text message to someone to say, hey, you make me smile, or thanks for doing that for me, or you really matter. Express your gratitude to others. Give a compliment. By doing these things, not only will you make someone else feel good, but it'll make you feel good too. Curate your input. It's like a recipe. Whatever you put in that recipe is what you're going to get out of it. So if we're constantly bringing in negative things around us, we're going to end up putting negative things out there. And if we constantly are pulling in negative things in our life, then we're also going to have a more negative outlook on life. So if we want a more positive outlook, we need to bring in more positive. So there are a few things that you can do to make those changes to bring in a more positive outlook. So let's look at our list that we have. You could watch the news, which is really depressing, for hours, which no one likes to do. I know I don't. Or you can listen to some upbeat music. My favorite thing to do when I'm just I don't know, feeling down or just feeling off is to completely blast the music and have a dance party. Just dance it out like nobody's watching, because nobody's watching, and to have fun and put a good smile on your face. Another thing you can do is you can stay inside, or you could take a nice walk outside, feel the sun on your face, feel the wind in your hair, and see the animals, and just really get out and feel better about it. Or you can watch Netflix, which, don't get me wrong, I love to sit and watch Netflix. Everybody does. But sitting and watching Netflix by myself isn't going to put a smile on my face and bring me happiness when I'm having a negative outlook. Or a better option would be to FaceTime with a close friend or family member and really just talk and laugh and enjoy some time with a person that you care about and cares about you. These are just a few small choices that you can make in your daily life to impact your mood in a very monumental way. It's the difference between a pessimist or optimism, being positive or being negative. Here's a great quote that you can take in and remind yourself when you're really having those negative outlooks. Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of overcoming it. Yes, the world is scary, especially now when we don't know what's going to happen in the future and things are constantly changing. But that doesn't mean there's not positive in the world. It doesn't mean there's not good things for us to look forward to. Living our life for the positive instead of dwelling on the negative is going to help our overall well-being. It's going to help us have a more longer, happier life. Yes, there's negative, but there's an equal balance of positive too. And it's important to remember that even though they're suffering, there's a lot of people who are overcoming that suffering as well. So next we have some resources that we can provide here for you, and with the goal of being able to create some support for you, that you can have that ability to slowly start creating that better mindset and making that shift within yourself to create that positivity and to find that optimism. So if you're a reader and you really like to read, there's a book listed here called The Gratitude Project. I have not specifically got to read it myself, but this book was created around a study at a university on how the science of thankfulness can rewire our brains, creating some optimism, resilience within ourselves, and overall a greater good. However, if you're more of an auditory learner and you like to listen to podcasts, we have a couple of podcasts listed here. One is the Optimism Project. The other one is Live Happier Longer. These podcasts are a bit on the longer side, so if you're wanting that thing to listen to on the long commute or the long drive, or just for a few hours you have to yourself, these are great. But however, if you're a busy person and you want something quick and simple that you can listen to, there is the shorter podcast at Everyday Positivity. These are about 3 minutes long and something that you can easily work into your busy schedule. If you're like me, however, and there's an app for everything, I definitely love my apps, so my phone is full of them. The I Am app is a great app to have. It's a positivity affirmations app. So basically the goal with this app is that you can set it up to where your phone will go off with these positive affirmations from one time in the morning to sometime at night, and you'll get those. You can do it every hour and get those positivity affirmations. And what I really like about having positivity affirmations app that sends you those positivities is that when you're having those dark moments and when you are just kind of feeling down about it because you've come across something and you're just not quite focusing on how you can shift that mindset, because it's very easy to do, these apps will go off and tell you a good affirmation and you're like, you know what, you're right. I can change my mindset. I can find positivity in this moment, even when it feels like you can't. So they're great little reminders that send you those affirmations all throughout the day. Another one is the Optimism app. It's a gratitude journal. It's just like a normal journal, but on your phone. So definitely check that one out. Another great resource is going to be Kristen Neff. She has done lots of studies and massive work in this field of finding that positivity and finding self-compassion within ourselves. She has a website called selfcompassion.org and some great videos that you can check out. Another one is Live Happy. LiveHappy.com also has a podcast on its website. It also has articles and journals that you can check out and read. And there are lots and lots of more resources out there, and I encourage you to search and find ones that work for you. You can find those little calendars that you can sit in your kitchen or on your bedside that you can change every day that give you these positive affirmations and encourage optimism. You can also find other apps and activities that you can do, or books and things that you can read, and finding those little things to put into your daily schedule is an automatic way to start shifting your mindset to find that positivity and create that habit for yourself. So I encourage you to do so. Thank you. Thank you for giving me your time today. Thank you for watching this. I really hope that you gained some good information out of this, and that this will help you shift that mindset from a negative to a positive one. I know that it can be very difficult to do, especially when we're facing so much, and everyone is facing a struggle, and that's the key here. We're all facing negativity, but we should also all try to find that positive outlook on it in order to better ourselves and to better others, and to create a long-lasting happiness within ourselves that's going to prolong our life. So again, thank you for watching us. Please like, comment, and subscribe and share. And we'll see you next time.